Hey, welcome to a special edition of an Epro 360 interview today with Louelle Reinhardt. Louelle, would you be so kind to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, I'm Louelle Reinhardt. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Fritzlar, Germany.
And Louelle, thank you. I said in the beginning that this is going to be a special interview because you are already studying in the US. So where are you studying? How far are you in your studies, and also what are you studying exactly?
So I'm studying in Los Angeles at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I started my studies in August 2021. So the first year is already done, and it's a 2-year conservatory, so I'm in my last year currently.
Okay.
And I'm studying acting.
And where did the original idea to study in the US come from? Maybe take us back to the moment in your life when you actually took that leap of faith to say, I'm going to study in the States.
Okay, so I kind of already always knew that I wanted to go to the States, but then I did a student exchange when I was in 11th grade, and I was really caught off guard how much I actually did like it. And then when I took my A-levels and I was deciding on what I'm supposed to do, I was like, okay, I don't want to stay in Germany. So I was just panicking last minute. I was like, okay, I really want to go to the US. And then I just did it.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So you are at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts now.
Yeah.
What are the 3 top study experiences that you took from this first year so far?
I would definitely say the first period of classes was very beneficial for me, getting to know so many different people, totally on my own, and experiencing the classes, singing classes. And I'm definitely not a singer, so that was kind of a confidence boost to just stand in front of 20 people and having to sing. And then I would say the second one would be our exam plays.
Okay.
So for us, we have 12 weeks of classes, and then we have 3 weeks of exam plays where we get to perform and rehearse a play. And I really love plays. And I always thought, I still want to go into film and television, but I never knew how much I loved actual live theater. So that was quite the experience. And then I would say number 3, we had a film project actually, very short, of just 2 weeks, and we had to produce, direct, film, and write everything.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun.
Now, from these experiences, is there any number 1 benefit that you feel like you have gotten from it so far, and also something that maybe you would recommend for others if they chose to study in the States as well?
Yeah, I definitely think it's more of a don't overthink it kind of situation. Mm-hmm. I'm a very terrible overthinker.
Okay.
So especially acting in the US just taught me to not take myself so seriously and just go into it and just do it and have fun, and honestly just try to not feel judged by other people, because everybody has so much going on. So just give yourself a break, take a breather, and just just don't take it too serious and just have a little bit of confidence.
Okay, now you were, at some point at least, you took a decision, and I guess, I don't know if it came from a gut feeling or you thought about it. Why did you decide to study at the Academy of Dramatic Arts specifically?
I did a lot of research when I came to acting schools, because I did want something in LA, because it's the heart of the industry. And when I found the Academy, what I really liked is that they kind of promise you this 4-year education in 2 years.
Okay.
So it's very quick and it's very specific, but just the methods that they're teaching there and everything just was something that spoke to me.
Okay. Is there any most valuable lesson that you felt like you got, but also students who attend that academy specifically always say that this is the number 1 reason why I got out of it?
I think a big part of with the school life and everything is that you actually meet people that are in the industry and that are currently still working in the industry. So it's you learn a ton very quick about the industry and how to approach things and how to best work and how to best present yourself. And there's a lot of we had a lot of classes where they were just talking about, okay, you should wear this and you should not wear this. And I think it's very nice to just kind of get an idea of, okay, what version of myself do I want to represent, and in myself, how do I feel comfortable with how I present myself and stuff. So that was really interesting.
Is there any lesson even that you feel I can apply to my life, not just professionally, but maybe also personally, because you felt you've grown as a person and became more confident, as you said before?
Yeah. God, there's so much. I definitely think I learned this from my best friend. like I said, don't take yourself too seriously. I think that's just like the biggest lesson I ever had. And it's like, if you're anxious or if you're just like freaked out about something, even if it's like an exam, like take a minute to yourself, breathe, and then like, you're not alone in this situation. You will never be alone in that situation. So that's always like a big thing.
Saying that you're not alone in the industry, even, are you currently at an acting agency, or have you already had your first job coming out of it?
Sadly, no, because it's actually quite hard currently with the student visa and everything. But there are like a lot of ways to like get a work visa or the OTP, which is the next step. And as soon as I have the OTP, I'm able to like go to agencies, because agents are very like iffy if you come as a student, like on a student visa. They're like, yeah, you kind of do need an OTP or a work visa for me to like contract you. But I know where to go. My school has taught me, you know, how to approach agents, what to do next, and you know.
So you're learning.
I have everything together. I'm just waiting for the OTP.
Oh, so you're being prepared. Actually, for our viewers, the OPT, I guess that's what you're referring to. The optional practice training is a working visa that will be stamped on top of your student visa. So anyone from around the world who chooses to study in the US will get an F1 student visa, and that F1 student visa doesn't allow for you to work off campus until the time of graduation.
Yeah.
And I guess this is what you're referring to, that you're being prepared for your time to then, you know, get acting jobs and actually make a living and earn money in the US as well.
Yeah.
Now with that, you spend a lot of time on campus, I suppose. And can you take us to a typical day? Like, what does your day look like? How are networking opportunities with other students, maybe?
I mean, I lived on campus for the first year, so I was right in the heart of the school, and I had all my friends on campus, and I knew all the fellow students. For me, classes usually started at 8:30. And it was mostly like acting class in the morning, you know, it varied depending on the day. And we had movement classes where we learned like various dances. We had singing class, voice and speech, you know, it depends on the day that you were having. But it was always a lot of fun, like especially because like no matter where you went on campus, you always run into like a bunch of people.
Okay.
It was just very nice.
Is there anything that you feel like that now that you're in the summer in Germany, you would like to do that you couldn't, or that you can only do because of your previous experience in the US, like an internship or anything that you feel like it's super valuable for me to now be back home before you start into your final year?
Yeah, what I've done like the past couple of weeks is prepare myself for the time right after graduation. So get all my stuff together for the agencies, you know, write my reels, prepare my reels and all of that stuff. Or just like in general, I really want to do an internship sometime after graduation. So I also did look into like production companies in LA to see, okay, what exactly do I need to prepare? What do I have to send in? And when do I have to send it in? And I mean, if I would have chosen to do an internship here at like maybe a production company, I think that would have also like been beneficial on the resume.
Now, do you have any long-term career objectives, like goals that you feel like this is really where I want to be in a few years?
I mean, I definitely want to like be something in the film and television industry, and I do love acting and it will always be my number one. I will always try, but I've actually grown to love producing and just like overall the production, so the management of the movie projects, because I was a producer for like the short film project in school. And I just really loved just like managing everything and managing everybody. And then one of my teachers is also a producer. And I just like got to talking with him and I really did like what he was saying. So I think a long-term goal of mine is to like produce some projects.
Do you think that California is the perfect place to help you get there as well with the infrastructure?
I definitely think so, yeah. I think it's like one of the biggest film capitals there is, if not the biggest. So I definitely think like being in California is really, really, really helpful, and like especially in LA.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for helping us to understand what your first year was like, and share the experiences that you got out of your first year in the US.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Epro 360 though. Like, we helped you get there initially. What was your experience before, but also during that time? Like, were you able to reach out or connect with other people from our network when you were there?
Yeah. I mean, I met a friend, Melanie, through Epro, and we've met up a couple of times in LA because she's also studying there. And she's grown very close to my heart. I really do adore her. So that was really nice having somebody who came from like the same background as me. And it's just also nice having Epro because it's just, you always, like, I'm always somebody, I do a lot of things on my own, and I never really ask for help, but it's just nice knowing that there is someone there that you can ask for help, and if you like just like don't know the way out or you don't know what the next step is, that you can just pick up the phone and be like, hey, I need a bit of help, and that's a nice thing to know.
Cool. How does it feel to be part of the Epro 360 community?
I honestly, like, I really do like it. I haven't done a lot of videos yet, just because I've been super busy, but it's just like nice to see what other students are doing as well, because I think that's also like a very inspiring part for me, seeing people graduate, for example, and like knowing that people went through the entire education and are now like happy with it and like had a good experience with it and had a good support system behind them. That's just really nice.
Cool. Now, Louelle, I know there are people watching who are actually just thinking about, well, Louelle is inspiring. I've thought about studying in the US before, but should I really do it? Like, they're kind of just right before this decision. What would you tell somebody that is about to decide but isn't quite sure whether that's the right way or not for them?
I would definitely say just do it. I always say when people ask me this, I'm like, just do it. Because at the end of the day, if in 2 years it doesn't feel right, you can always start over. But then you will never be in the position where you're like, oh, I wish I would have tried that, like when I had the chance to try it. And like, especially like not knowing where to start. You have a support system here, you have people here that actually know where to start. So I would definitely say just do it and don't overthink it and give it a try. And if it doesn't feel right, then you can always just come back home and do something else.
Cool. Thank you. And if you wonder what a next step could be, if you want to, there's going to be a link under this video where you can register for a free consultation, speak to one of us, or speak to an expert on the phone, get all your questions answered for free, and just find out whether you even qualify to study in the US, and if so, what it would cost for you based on your individual desires, whether that's acting, whether that's California or somewhere completely else. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you for being here again, and we can't wait to hear from more from your stories. Thank you. Bye.